Y'all get ready?
Yes, you get ready.
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovelyti TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.
I have a lot of thoughts with this situation, and you guys know I used to be a huge Drake fan. You know, especially 2015, 2016. I remember when he came out here to Minneapolis, me and Tola went to the Drake concert and everything else. So, like, to see his antics play out and to see how lame he's gotten over the years is insane. And once again, his ball sniffers, aka the OV Ho fans, they continue to make excuses for this grown-ass man. Okay, this man is damn near 40. He's closer to 40 than he is 20. And he's behaving childish, and now they're trying to spin it like, oh, he's doing this for the culture, and he's trying to help, you know, the culture, and that's not what it's about. So we're going to break it down. Y'all like the pink? Thank you. I appreciate y'all. So let me see here. I have a lot of screens. Just be patient, y'all. And I know I be trying to figure shit out. Let me see. Where's my other? Okay, here we go. I got like 3 screens up just so I know. Okay, we got a good amount of people in here. Go to the viewer activities. Okay. All right. So let's start with this news clip. So let's kind of watch this news clip that's kind of breaking down a little bit of the lawsuit. So give me grace. Give me grace. Okay. All right. Here goes the news clip.
The rival between 2 of rap music's biggest stars, Drake and Kendrick Lamar, is entering a dramatic new chapter. Drake's company has filed 2 legal actions accusing Universal Music Group, which represents both of the artists, of defamation and illegally boosting Lamar's viral song that targeted Drake, Not Like Us. Lawyers for Drake allege UMG enacted a scheme to, quote, artificially inflate that song. Here to help us unpack it all, NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas and NBC News legal analyst Danny Savalos. Chloe, I want to start with you. Of course, we should note that Universal Music Group is not part of NBC Universal, but for those who forget, remind us how this all came to be. Where is this beef stemming from?
Well, this beef goes back, Sinclair, years. I mean, it dates back as far back as 2013. They've been putting these diss tracks out against one another, and they used to be friends. I mean, they used to collaborate. They did music together, and then things went really south, and then things reached a fever pitch over the summer. But this is just this massive breaking point, and music fans, it's all they can talk about. This looks like the beginning of a lawsuit. I'll let Danny weigh in on that, but this is a petition from Drake's legal team saying that Universal Music Group, which, by the way, both these artists are part of Universal Music Group, which is the irony there, that UMG took part in illegal practices to promote Kendrick Lamar's summer hit, Not Like Us. That they used bots, that they used pay-to-play tactics known as payola to artificially enhance his hit that it supposedly was a Billboard Hot 100 #1 hit for weeks on end, but that really UMG did this in a deceiving manner. And I just want to point out that Universal Music Group says that we employ the highest ethical practices in our marketing and promotional campaigns, and that this is completely not true. And we're also waiting to hear back from Kendrick Lamar. But this feud has reached a whole nother level.
Well, let's talk about the legality for a minute. Danny, I do want to bring you in here and take these claims one at a time, starting with those allegations of illegally boosting that diss track, Not Like Us. Is that illegal if it is happening? And does it matter that the company represents both artists here?
It could be. Just because it's not illegal in the sense that it may not violate a criminal statute, it could potentially violate, for example, New York's False Advertising Act, New York's Deceptive Business Practices Act. It could just be generally tortious. It could be something that unlawfully or intentionally interferes with existing contracts. A creative pleader can allege all kinds of different tort violations. Those are civil wrongs as opposed to criminal wrongs. This is going in the civil direction, and it may even include allegations of civil, not necessarily criminal, civil RICO, the same kind of tortious interference with contracts. that civil RICO provides damages for.
And Danny, what about Drake's defamation claims? He's not actually taking action, notably against Kendrick, at least not yet, but the music label is who he's targeting. He says the company knew Kendrick was, quote, falsely accusing him of being a sex offender. Those were some things that came up in lyrics of songs. So how could those claims hold up legally?
Yeah, what we're looking at today in New York and Texas, these are not lawsuits. They are essentially, and I've filed these in New York dozens of times. What you do is you think you have a case against some defendants, but you want to get some discovery to find out who the real bad guys are. It's possible that the two named respondents here that we're talking about may not end up being defendants at all, although I think that's highly unlikely. I think they will. But the point is, just because somebody isn't a defendant, a named defendant in this petition, doesn't mean at all that they won't end up being a named defendant ultimately in a civil complaint for damages. What we're looking at now, these petitions, they're not for damages.
All right. Okay, so y'all just watched what the news had to say about the situation. Now, what I find very funny is that he's saying that basically UMG is helping to promote the song. The song is defaming his character. But what's very interesting is that when all of this stuff started, let's go back 7 months ago, right? When everything started, we were all here. You know, I did many breakdowns. So everything kicked off. Now, they've been beefing for years. You know, the news is trying to act like they were friends. Drake has been in his feelings ever since Kendrick dropped that song way back in 2015. He's been in his feelings. So when Metro Boomin dropped Like That and he put Kendrick Lamar in the remix, nobody was expecting Kendrick Lamar to, like, you know, basically throw shots at, you know, Drake and J. Cole, where he said, you know, mother F the big three, it's just big me. You know what I mean? So he kind of drew the line in the sand. After that, Drake was feeling himself. Y'all remember that shit? He was, you know, he dropped push-ups. You couldn't tell him nothing. Drop and give me 50. Drop and give me 50. You know, he was feeling himself so much so he dropped Tailor Made. Even used a Tupac AI. So it's funny that he had all this energy and smoke. Then remember, Kendrick warned him. He dropped Euphoria. Okay? He did, you know, just a little bit of light tapping, like, you know, simmer down. You may not want to go there. Then he dropped 616 in LA. And then Drake came back with Family Matters. So he dropped that, where he's basically insinuating that Kendrick's son was not his child. Insinuating that Whitney cheated on Kendrick with Kendrick's manager. And then also said that Kendrick was whooping Whitney's ass. Who remembers that? So, I mean, it's very interesting that Drake can put out all types of false allegations and label Kendrick an abuser based off of, you know, rumors and innuendos. Said the baby couldn't be Kendrick's. So he was putting all types of things out there to make Whitney, a woman who had nothing to do with the beef, seem like she was some type of jump off as opposed to Kendrick Lamar's wife. So then after he dropped Family Matters, he swore he won. Then Kendrick dropped Meet the Grams. And he really stuck it to Drake. And so Drake was ready to drop, you know, something else. But then literally a few hours later, we got the miraculous hit, Not Like Us. And I said he needed to drop a club banger. That's what I was saying because it was so much stuff to decipher, right? And I'm like, this generation ain't trying to decipher Bible quotes and, you know what I'm saying, old school revolutions and dates. You know, they're not trying to do that. They want a hot beat, mustard on the beat, ho! They want a hot beat. They want to dance. They want something fun where, you know what I'm saying, it can be moving, and it did that. Not Like Us. He wants to claim, and I'm not saying that the industry doesn't use bots to inflate stuff, because we'll get to that part of it. But I know for a fact, I myself, okay, was streaming that song a lot. Lots of people. Even when I did the video the other day about the first lawsuit, there was so many comments like, I live in South Africa. We were all playing Not Like Us. I'm in the Netherlands. It was banging all over here. I'm in France. Like, this was a global phenomenon. Remember, so much so, Drake tried to act unbothered, right? So after Not Like Us came out, Drake dropped The Heart Part 6, which was a part of Kendrick's, you know, continuous saga about the heart. Totally flopped. And after that, he just decided to, wash his hands of the beef, right? But remember when Drake tried to play it off like he was cool, he was trying to act like, oh, he wasn't bothered. He himself went on tour. While he was on tour, he played Not Like Us. So let me go ahead and refresh y'all's memory real quick here. What? Okay. So it's very interesting that Drake is now in his feelings. Remember, he was at the concert. He played that specific verse about Baca and his weird case. And, he was trying to act like everything was cool. It ain't no big deal. I can laugh at myself. Okay, he won. But see, this is what Drake didn't expect, right? He did not expect Not Like Us to become a part of the American lexicon. Am I lying? Everywhere you went, you could not watch a football game, basketball game. There was kids that were rapping that song verbatim in elementary schools, junior high. It became a part of the lexicon. It became just like when Nas dropped Ether. When you say somebody got ethered, right? That became a part of the lexicon. That was a diss towards Jay-Z that now we use that as a regular word. So when we say Not Like Us, it's not even just about the whole Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef. It's like, them hoes over there are not like us, okay? Them dudes over there are not like us. It just became a part of the culture. It's what the culture was feeling, okay? In my Kendrick Lamar voice. And so that's the part that really bothered Drake. See, he thought it was going to die off after a while. It's been 7 months and we still crip walking and Not Like Us. Hell, we played it at the damn Millie party and the Tea Sippers. They went hard, okay? They went hard during that song. And so I just find the whole situation funny that 9 months later, he's upset. He's upset in my Drake voice. And he's upset because this song hasn't died off. Remember when he was out here, making diss records towards Meek Mill, he had 2 songs back to back, no pun intended, towards Meek Mill. Meek Mill had to take that on the chin. People said Meek Mill fell off. People clowned him. It affected Meek Mill for a while until he came back, with the Dreams and Nightmares song. Then, people started rocking with Meek again. But, now he's Diddy's little side chick. So we're giving Meek the side eye. But he said a lot of stuff about Meek and they went back and forth. Imagine if Meek Mill took that same approach back in 2015, 2016 and decided to sue Drake. And this is what I mean. And this is what Kendrick was also saying, that he's a effing colonizer. He is. And this is setting a precedence. And we're going to talk about that as well. Yes, he's a sore loser, but this is also setting a precedence because this is not what hip hop is about. There's been so many worse things said in hip hop battles, in battle rap. Remember, Tupac said, I'm going to make sure my 4-4 make sure all your kids don't grow. He literally threatened Biggie's children and Diddy's children. He was willing to kill the kids. I deciphered some of Biggie Smalls' lyrics in my Diddy deep dive. He was a very disturbed individual. See, when you're a kid, you don't understand the lyrics as much. You're listening to the beat. But as you get older, you're like, damn, did Biggie say he was about to fuck a child in the ass and throw him over a bridge? Wait, whoa. But that was left in the 90s. Nobody saw it as a big deal. It's rap. You're able to go to the extreme. He was talking about smashing Raven Simone. She was like 8. Raven Simone didn't sue Biggie. So this is like setting a precedent. So what I want to point out is this. A lot of his fans, let me see what I want. Okay. So it's setting a precedent because on top of him claiming defamation from Kendrick and saying that UMG is using bots, he also named a podcast. I'm not going to lie, I've never heard of these 2 white guys, the NFR podcast. Y'all know there's a podcast every day, child. At this point, Best Buy needs to hide the microphones and the headsets. There's too many damn podcasts. But there's a podcast, and he's also named this podcast in the lawsuit. And he feels like the people of this podcast, they were paid to promote Not Like Us. So he also wants to hold them accountable as well. So when I tell you, Drakaren, which a lot of people have been calling him, he's trying to make it where now people who do my job, commentary, we can now be held liable for promoting a diss song. He's trying to set a new precedent. So let's go ahead and watch this TikTok video here. All right, so let's listen to what this man has to say. These are the people being sued by Drake as well, in the lawsuit.
Suing UMG over Not Like Us that not a lot of people are talking about is that the NFR podcast is named in the lawsuit. Their name comes up several times in this suit. Basically, Drake alleges that the NFR podcast was paid by UMG to post about Not Like Us, which on first reaction just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Because one, NFR podcast posts about everything that happens in hip hop. Of course they're going to post about a song in the biggest beef of the year. And they would post about that whether they were being paid or not. And two, paying for promotion is pretty common practice. Like, I don't think there's a law against paying publications to promote your music, the same way that there's a law against paying radio stations to play your music. Those are two different things. And if Drake is alleging that the label paid more to promote Not Like Us than any of his diss tracks, a label isn't obligated to promote every single song equally. They see which songs are gaining the most heat and the most traction, and that's how they decide what to promote further. And Not Like Us was a more exciting song than anything he put out. And three, just think about this for a second, Drake. These are two Canadian white dudes. Like, this is your demographic. Why are you trying to publicly implicate these two people? If you follow NFR at all, they are fans, and they like Kendrick too, but they really like Drake, and they defend him in ways that very few other people in the hip-hop media space do. Like, they still maintain that Family Matters is a good song. If there's a lawyer out there that can explain to me why naming these two people might be a good idea, then let me know. But it's just hilarious to me that...
Now, Lord knows I ain't nobody's lawyer, okay? But this is why I feel like he's naming these two, and I'm not going to call them random. They're random to me, no disrespect to them. They're Canadian podcasters. Sorry. But I feel like the reason why he's naming them, because it's easier to go after them. They're two white guys. People in America may not really know them. It's not going to cause as much outrage from the black community. Whereas, like, let's say he went after the Shade Room or Boss Up or, DJ Academics, somebody who's like really ingrained in the culture. That would cause even more backlash. Like, oh, he's trying to take down another black man. He's trying to take down a black platform. So he's trying to like tiptoe into it. Like, let me go ahead and throw these, white Canadians under the bus so it doesn't look racial. Y'all get what I'm saying? Yeah, like if he would have went after like Charlemagne the God or Brilliant Idiots. That's why he's trying to go after this little known podcast, because he's putting out feelers. That's what he's doing. He's putting out feelers. Because then if he can take them down and shut them up, then he can start coming for American broadcast people. I hope that's making sense. Let's finish listening to him. That's just my thoughts as somebody who's not a lawyer, but just, be on social media sipping tea, child.
That these two people are involved in a RICO case, and they were brought into it by someone that they've shown a lot of admiration for. But yeah, to turn this into something positive, I know these guys might have a reputation for glazing Travis Scott and arguing, but if you're new to NFR, I highly recommend you check out their best albums of 2024 so far video. They turned me on to a lot of great music, like My Name Isn't J-Mac, Huss Kingpin, Boldy James, Mac Homie.
All right, sir. Thank you. Appreciate the song titles. Okay, so I feel like if he would have went after like a Joe Budden, who done called him all types of bitches and drug him, it would bring even more drama, right? You can't just go after Lovely Joe and the Lovely Joe podcast. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let's go after these random white Canadians. Now, another thing with this whole situation, I noticed a lot of, Drakarian's ball sniffers. Oh yeah, okay, here goes a perfect example. Let's watch this DJ Academic video. Because again, he's suing these white guys saying that, oh, it's not fair. They were promoting they're promoting Kendrick's music. They're getting paid money, payola to promote him. Okay, well, remember when DJ Academic got confronted online about all the promo and glazing he was doing for Drake? Let's go ahead and watch this. All right, let's listen to this.
He'll send you DMs, he'll play old buddy with you, but he really don't fuck with you. Do you think Drake shows you love?
Drake showed me a lot of love.
How? What's he do to show you love?
I got it.
Did you hear how his voice squeaked? Drake showed me a lot of love. That's how you know he lying.
Exclusive info.
Heck, that's not love. What do you do with that exclusive info? You say it to the world, you gas it up 10 times more. He's using you as a free a billboard, free promo. He sent Ice Spice a jet before he sent you one. That nigga be dropping ass music, but you won't say that because you're a #1 fan. But nigga, you get online, nigga, you fucking jump into it, doing backflips, nigga, all type of shit. When he needs you, he'll send you DMs, he'll play old buddy with you, but he really don't fuck with you. Do you think Drake shows you love?
Drake showed me a lot of love.
How? What's he do?
His voice cracked like he going through puberty. Child by. No, Drake be using you. So my point of showing this is, it's funny that what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. So when the white NFR podcast was showing Kendrick Lamar, support and saying, hey, we like, not like us or whatever, that's bad. They get up in a lawsuit. But Drake is constantly sending, little tidbits to DJ Academics and having DJ Academics be his mouthpiece. Constantly. So it's cool when you do it, Drake, but it's an issue when other people do it. So it's cool as long as it's, black platforms like DJ Academics praising you and coming up with all types of excuses and, all types of mental gymnastics as to why you're not bothered, right? Him, Lil Yachty, and others. But you go ahead and you throw NFR into a lawsuit. That to me is insane. So now I want to go ahead and also, let me see here. Okay, he wants to also talk about the promotion. He says that the promotion has been over the top. It's not fair. UMG's going out their way to constantly promote Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. Once again, Drake, this was an article from 2018. Spotify users were literally coming together on social media to drag Spotify for the over-the-top promotion of Drake. Like when you logged into Spotify back then, literally everything was Drake. Car ride songs with Drake's picture. Making love songs. Listen to this Drake, choice list. Gospel songs. Drake. That's all they were doing in 2018. So a lot of people were upset. Somebody here says, hey there. Oh no, Spotify says, hey there, we're celebrating Drake's new album and his spot as the most streamed artist in the world right now. The browse section and playlist will be back to normal soon. They literally turned the entire browse section and playlist to pay homage to Drake. Okay? So people got upset. Somebody says here, Spotify, you will listen to Drake, you will like it. Me, but I want to. Spotify, Drake. All you see is Drake. Okay? Somebody else, me. I'm looking for some good music. Spotify. How about Drake? Me, kind of in the mood for something else. Spotify. Okay, so Drake. Me, no. Listen, Drake! Okay? This was in 2018. We keep receipts around here. Spotify. Hey, we make playlists cater to your unique taste. Spotify user listens to 18 hours of Mongolian throat singing, Icelandic drumming bands, and a Peruvian death metal band. Spotify, please listen to Drake. And then when you go on to, see if I can click on this here, see if it brings it up. Okay, let's look at this. This was how Spotify was looking in 2018. This is Drake. Hear the new Scorpion Plus More Essentials. You want some swagger music? These sexy high drama roots, American tracks, pack some serious. Drake's pictures on the cover. R&B, the hottest R&B tunes plus new videos from Rise artists, Jorah Smith, and new music. Who's on the cover? Drake. All right, Northern Bars, the sounds of hip-hop coming out of Canada. Drake! I mean, this is insane. The hypocrisy of this man. Here goes more. Get your beast mode on. Drake! Songs to sing in your car. Drake! Hot rhythmic. Drake! Wake up happy. Drake! Let's keep going. New Music Friday. Scorpions here. Drake! Morning commute. Tired? You feel like, listening to something on the way to work? Don't worry, we got you. Drake. Rap Caviar. Listen to Drake's new Scorpion album. Soul Coffee. Something nice, soothing, R&B tunes to go with your nice, soothing coffee. Drake. What kind of shit is this? This was in 2018, okay? So again, it's cool when you do it, Drake, but it's an issue when you're saying that UMG is promoting Kendrick. You're a hypocrite and a sore loser, sir. Okay? I mean, this is insane. I remember that time. All you saw was Drake. The home, everything was Drake, 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 Drake. So it's cool when it's all about you. That's because he's a narcissist. That's what it boils down to. He's a narcissist. So now, I also want to get into some other stuff. So one, he's going off on Drake. He's basically saying that, this guy has been at the top for damn near 15 years, and now he's basically doing all of this. And it makes no sense because when the industry was praising him and he was at the top, nobody else was really contesting this. So for him to be going the lawsuit route is insane. So Lovely Joe is like going off and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So we're going to go ahead and watch this.
In adversity in 15 years. And so now we see what he's doing at the face of adversity.
Or he's a selfish, lying, manipulative sack of shit who has made enemies for 15 years. And now we're here at the fucking boiling point.
They both could be true.
You've been behind the scenes being the biggest sack of shit you can possibly be.
It's his first time facing adversity in 15 years. And so now we see what he's doing.
I'm not here to fucking play games with you niggas. Niggas know what it is out there. That's it. And he's fucking white. And he's Jewish. And he had too much dip on his chip. You have been behind the scenes, hitting niggas' baby moms, sending money to niggas' baby. Yo, dog, you been back at Simply B. I'm not here sending messages to this nigga's wife, talking shit about fucking, hey, but this nigga's mom died. Hey, all that's cool, but where my beat at, nigga? I don't give a fuck that your mom died. Dog, this nigga's been a sack of shit behind the scenes, and because he got fans and had Lucian, everybody just get to turn a blind eye. The blind eye days are done. That's done. Send them mess with now. I don't want to hear none of that shit now. Now, we've seen the hand, you've seen their hand. What's it gonna be, and what are you gonna do? That's what it is.
Fully showing you.
He's showing you who he is with now.
He's making some awesome points. So now let me say this. When he's talking about the mom part, if the fact that your mom died, where are my beats? That's where the beef stemmed from with Metro Boomin. Remember, everybody kept trying to figure out, like, Metro Boomin, he makes beats. Why would he be beefing with Drake? Drake is a very selfish individual, per what a lot of people say behind the scenes. He's a raging narcissist, egomaniac, allegedly. But they're saying that when Metro Boomin's mother died, Drake didn't send condolences, didn't send flowers, but hit him up to get new beats, okay? So that is what Joe Budden is talking about. We've also seen where Drake has slid into people's DMs, where if you say anything about him, he's going after your girl. I've talked about this in the past where like different rappers he'd have issues with, and he's showing up to like courtside with the rapper's baby's mother or, you know, side chick or just whatever. Even recently, he was at the game, I believe it was the Toronto game, I might be mistaken, like looking at DeMar DeRozan like he's about to whoop his ass. He wouldn't say anything out loud, but he's mumbling under his breath because why DeMar DeRozan was in the Kendrick Lamar video. DeMar DeRozan is from Cali. He's West Coast all day. So it's like, he's so upset that people supposedly turned on him, but he's not looking in the mirror to see why so many people in the industry really stopped messing with him. See, he thought he could just keep giving out these Drake stimulus packages and it would suffice. But then people are like, you know what? I don't want your stimulus package if this is what it comes with. If this is what it comes with is a bunch of bullshit that comes with it, I don't want it. So he's not doing any type of self-reflecting. He just wants to be mad. Another thing, it's very interesting now. Joe is saying that he's white. He's Jewish. So you know it's getting real when they're, you know, using the J word, honey. This is how I know. Okay, let me talk about the CMAs. Can I talk about the CMAs real quick just to kind of switch gears? Okay, so the CMA Awards were, I think, like last week. And Shabuzi, huge fan of Shabuzi. You know, fellow Nigerian doing his thing out here. Had the biggest song in country music this summer. Tipsy, right? A lot of black folks were upset, and I definitely felt the way as well about the disrespect that Shabuzi got at the CMAs. One, he didn't win an award. They were mispronouncing his name. They were saying slick shit on stage to let them know that, you know what, we don't care if you had a #1 hit. We don't care if all the black folks got behind you and you know, people loved, you know, Tipsy. You're not infiltrating our space. So while I understand people getting upset, me and my friend and my cousin, we had a really long conversation about it last night till like literally 2 a.m. We were talking about damn Shabuzi and this whole CMA situation. And I said, the difference is this. Yes, it is triggering. It's upsetting, but I also have to respect it. Why? Because these white folks in country music stole it, right? They stole it from black Americans and they made it their own, and now they're gatekeeping it. And they're saying, we don't care how hot you get, Lil Nas X. We don't care how hot you get, Shabuzi. We don't care that you're Beyonce. You're not going to be the face of country music. You're just not. And maybe, just maybe, instead of complaining, hip hop should be taking notes. Because what I've noticed that's gone on over the past few years in hip hop is that many white artists, they start off as hip hop heads. I'm a big fan of Jelly Roll. B.L. Sherrill will tell you. I love me some Jelly Roll. I love his albums. But let's keep it real. Jelly Roll started off as a damn Southern gangster drill rapper. Okay? Let me refresh y'all's memory in case you forgot. Let me see if I have that up. I think it's this one. Yeah, let's watch this real quick. This is Jelly Roll for y'all who don't know. Dope dude, really good music. But people forget he started off as a hip hop artist.
I'm just giving the mixtapes away. I'm just like, yo, here's a sack of weed, here's a gram of coke, here's a mixtape. You know what I'm saying? I rap too. It was like my business card. Even my drug dealing, to me, was always a means to music. I wrote hundreds of songs right here. I wrote Riding All Alone's chorus right here. You know, I wake up every day, I hit my knees and pray. My mind is filled with pain, so many things have changed. I'm looking at my life like it's an hourglass. So still spend every minute trying to kiss the pain.
He was 24 when he left prison for the last time. By then, a prison guard had given him some news that changed the way he thought about his life.
He said, D4, you had a kid today. I said, what? He said, yeah, you had a child. And I was like, what's her name? And he said, hell, I don't know.
It turned out her name is Bailey. Like so many in Jelly's life, her mother suffered from addiction. Jelly is now raising her with his wife of 7 years, Bunny XO, a podcaster who calls herself the Trailer Park Barbara Walters. In 2010, Jelly Roll had his first
Pay
minor
attention.
hit, a hip-hop track called Pop Another Pill.
I have a line in that song to show you where I was at in my mental space, how insecure and how much I didn't believe in myself. I ain't got no single, no potential for the radio.
I ain't got no single, no potential for the radio.
As a rapper, Jelly Roll sounded a bit like the southern hip-hop stars he admired.
Somebody save me.
But when he started singing,
Me from myself.
the twang in his voice made country fans pay attention. In 2020, he released an acoustic version of a ballad called Save Me, which became his breakthrough.
I'm so damaged beyond repair.
And I love that song. Like I said, he's a very talented man, right? He, and Post Malone's another one. He's running around here with damn cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. But back in 2015, he was running around with the Migos. He was one of the biggest rappers out there. And then once he built his fan base, wasn't in 2017 when he came out and was like, "Oh, don't call me a rapper. I'm bigger than a rapper." Let me read this. Malone embraced hip hop from the beginning of his career, except for those awkward early years where he played in a metal band, he rapped, collaborated with rappers, he rapped slang, selected trap drums, soundtracks for his beats. And for this, he was handsomely rewarded. White Iverson blew up and hit #1 with Rockstar. Yet, the Dallas Syracuse Post has been running away from rap since the beginning after reaping the benefits of the association. In 2015, right as White Iverson hit, Malone declared, "I am not a rapper, I am an artist." As they were different in 2016, he turned down the slot on the XXL freshman list because he was going in a more rock, pop / country direction. Okay? Folks ain't ready for that conversation. He went from, big hip hop star. He's blown up in country. Meanwhile, they're so upset at Beyonce for switching genres. They don't want to give her any type of leeway. They don't want to really acknowledge her presence in country music. They don't really want to acknowledge Shabuzi, even though Shabuzi was never a rapper. He came in as a country artist, okay? Somebody even said, thank you, Terrain. Jack Harlow's another one. And so this is what happens is that a lot of white artists will pull a Post Malone, a Jelly Roll. And again, no shade to these guys because I love Post Malone's music. I liked his hip hop music. I like his country music. I love Jelly Roll. So I'm not trying to be mean when I say this. I'm just keeping it real. This is what I see. They come in through hip hop. They come in because, black folks, we love everybody, right? We like to support folks. So they'll build a nest egg. They'll make money. They'll become a household name via hip hop. And then a few years later, they disassociate themselves. I don't want to be seen as a rapper. I'm an artist. Because they're making their breakaway. Remember when Miley Cyrus was doing all that bullshit, twerking and, jumping on tracks and everything else. But then once that got old, she went back to being country ass Miley Cyrus again. Okay? So the reason why I'm bringing all of this up, K. Michelle's another one. They've made it so hard for K. Michelle. Machine Gun Kelly, thank you. Machine Gun Kelly went from being a hardcore rapper, now he's emo and rock and roll and, oh my God, he's a white boy now. But a few years ago, he had the thickest black scent, Pink. Pink's another one. And I love me some Pink. Remember when she first came out, people thought Pink was mixed. We didn't know what Pink was. Sounded like a black girl. There you go. Looking pitiful. Just before I let you go. You know what I mean? Like nobody knew who she was. And then it was like, now she started doing more like the rock and roll type stuff. And like I said, I love Pink's album. But I'm saying all this to make a point. Just stick with me here, right? So now let's go ahead and go to Twitter. So let's kind of listen to some things that Drake did this streaming with this guy, and they say he's like the biggest streamer in the world. I don't know a lot of these young streamers, child. I'm grown, okay? I'm just, I'm getting to know more about Kai Cenat and whatever. So I didn't know this dude, but this XQC, he's a huge streamer, worth a lot of money. I noticed he had an accent. I don't know if he's Canadian. I'm not sure. But I also noticed that Drake's accent was very different when talking to this young man. We're just gonna listen to some of these clips.
Chat, love, biggest sixer. Don't ever forget it. Let these guys try and tell you different. Promise. Trust me, like I said, mind, body, and soul. I'm here. What's up, Jesse? Love, thank you.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you guys a lot. You're the best. Don't give up. You got this. And
Where is he from? He sounds like he's Irish or something.
Lovelyti. It's a good song though. You know?
it's a fragile op. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it's like a fragile op, but it's a good song though.
Okay, so what does that mean, a fragile op? No.
Chat knows what I'm talking about. Fragility.
So he got the nerve to be trying to call Steve Lacy a fragile op, but you're literally filing lawsuits. Sir, have several seats. Okay, this is the one about Kendrick, so let's listen to this one.
Me, I do music, in case you didn't know. I'm here.
Like, listen to
As
how
you
he's
can see,
introducing
fully
himself.
intact.
Let me play it over.
I'm Drake. This is XQC, real streaming legend. Me, I do music, in case you didn't know. I'm here. As you can see, fully intact. Mind, body, and soul, in case you were wondering. Right?
Mind, body, and soul.
Mind, body, and soul. You need facts to take me out. Fairy tales won't do it. Cheers to everybody.
Words live by.
Words to live by. Real talk. Cheers
Chat.
to everybody. Love. I'm Drake.
Imagine having to introduce yourself like the first day of kindergarten. Hi, my name is, I'm Drake and I'm a rapper, remember me? Like, he's a weirdo. And then he's saying that basically you need facts to take me out, fairy tales won't do it. So this is telling me that he already had plans with this lawsuit. He was already planning something. Okay, but then there's another part. I'm trying to see where it's at. Okay, this is the part. Listen to this closely where he says rap music is weird.
Like I want to hear what you would listen to.
Okay,
That's
I'll
what I
play right now
want.
then.
Yeah. Rap music is weird now anyway. I want to hear what you listen to. There we go. Like I want to hear what you would listen to.
Okay,
That's
I'll
what I
play right now
want.
then.
Yeah. Rap music is weird now anyway. I want to hear what you listen to. There we go.
The reason why I played that part, because he says, I want to hear what you listen to. Rap music is getting weird right now. Reading between the lines. Remember, not even 2 weeks ago, he's walking around with, he had braids, he had barrettes, ponytail holders, looking like a damn little girl. But he recently cut his hair. I don't know if y'all noticed. He cut his hair off. So people started clowning him too about that haircut. Like, oh, so now you're cutting your hair off? This is the evolution of Drake. Reading between the lines. He cut his hair off a few days ago, and now he's saying that he's basically done with rap. He wants to know what XQC is listening to because rap music is weird. Oh, Drake is about to switch sides. Oh, that bitch is about to put on a country hat, okay? Some cowboy boots. And he's about to go down to the Old Town Road, okay? He said he's leaving y'all. He's done with this rap shit. Watch him go country. He already done did the pop, rap, and all that stuff. That fool's about to go country. This is his exit towards hip-hop. And before he exits hip-hop, he's trying to burn it down. That's what he's trying to do, okay? Everybody's saying like, oh, like I was saying about the Country Music Awards, like everybody being upset about how Shabuzi was treated. And I said, yes, it was upsetting, but you also have to respect it. Because the CMAs, the country music folks, they are gatekeeping their genre. Hip hop has not. There's no reason that a biracial, half Jewish man from Canada has been the face of American hip hop for the past 15 years. Why is that? When you think about the biggest hip hop star, it is Drake. Well, it was Drake. Why is that? When you have so many talented black rappers from the culture and they've never gotten the push or the handouts that Drake has gotten. One, it's his ambiguity, right? Because he can, white people can look up to him, black people can look up to him, biracial people, Latinos. He has that look. Where a lot of these full black rappers, you know what I'm saying? They'll have people look at them, but they're not as commercial is what I'm trying to say. That you like Rick Ross, he makes decent music, but he's not as commercial. Young white kids are not looking to Rick Ross as anything. You know, they might listen to a few songs, but put a Drake out there, they can see themselves in a Drake. Especially since he tried to play it like, oh, I was such a nerd and I was picked on as a kid. And, you know, he played that game. So I think that what he's trying to do is basically tear down hip hop before he plans his exit. That's really what he's trying to do. He doesn't have any more friends in hip hop like that outside of Lil Yachty. A lot of rappers don't fool with Drake. And now that he's done this with the lawsuits, even more rappers have turned their backs on him. Now, for all the Drake glazers and the OV-ho ball sniffers, a lot of y'all are saying that he's doing this to expose the industry. Because I heard some of Roy and Mal's podcast, and we all know, child, Mal is a huge Drake fan, okay? And Rory's trying to spin it like, oh, you know, he's trying to make it more fair. He's trying to dig into what the labels are doing. The labels have been unfair for a long time. I could agree with that stance if a man named Russ did not come out 9 months ago saying the same thing 9 months ago. Where was Drake then? Let me refresh y'all's memory, because like I said, we keep receipts around here, okay? And I love me some Russ. Russ has been an independent artist for a long time. They have played with his numbers. They have done things to like blackball him, you know, to do all types of shady stuff. And Russ got tired of it. Russ came out swinging. So we're going to watch that real quick. He was on the Brilliant Idiots podcast. All right, Glazers, we bring receipts around here. This was 9 months ago. Ask yourself, where was Mr. OVO back then?
Again, unique experience you're here, and I want to know the dirt. Yeah. Okay? How are these labels fucking artists with the streams? Yeah. I don't know how they're doing it, but it feels like they're doing it. Yeah. And how are they tricking us? Because I see these people that go crazy, album goes #1, but then they can't fill up a show. Right. So the math is not math.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is.
But explain it. Where
I mean, so it's one of those things that like everyone in the industry knows is going on.
Which is?
Faking the streams. It's a real thing.
So the label buys the streams from Spotify?
So here's the deal. When you talk to these people, because I've talked to these people, because I've been like, what is this? How are y'all doing this? They never disclose the mechanics of like how they actually fake the streams. There's like, you know, rumors of like streaming farms, or we're delving out fucking computers in third world countries and hacking the back end to make it look things are fake, but the money's real. So what do we care? Especially they're not doing it with like up and coming artists who like you wouldn't believe it. You know, they're doing it with people like where it's okay if let's say your song has 500 million streams, right? Organically. But let's say with fake streams, now you're at 900 million. No one's gonna sit there and be like, this is more like a 500 million stream song.
Yeah.
They're just gonna be like, this is a big song, makes sense it has 900 million.
That's honestly so smart.
Yeah, they're not like...
Who does that sound like? See, Russ was saying just enough without saying everything. He was spilling a little bit of tea, but if you read in between the lines, if you're a big enough artist and they add more numbers to it, who's gonna count? This is no different than these stupid celebrities on Twitter and on Instagram who buy, you know, fake followers. If somebody has 2 million followers and they buy another million, who's really going to count because they already had 1 million legitimate followers? So they're making themselves seem even bigger. So he's low-key letting y'all know Drake and others are involved. So Drake is benefiting from the same system that he's complaining about.
Like, they're not doing it to the dude across the street and giving him 1 billion streams. They're doing it to people who really can get 500 million. But let's just pump it to get 900.
Now you're getting #1.
Now you get
so
#1.
You can pay for a #1.
Oh, yeah. What?
What does the #1 cost? I mean, that's crazy to even think about that.
I mean,
what does a #1 song in America cost?
Look, the reality is this. You do have to have a real fan base to a certain extent. Right? You have to have people who are really consuming the music.
All right. So y'all heard what Russ had to say about the situation.
Hey, what's up,
So y'all heard what he had to say about the situation. He was definitely keeping it real. Now, that's why I'm saying that I find it very interesting that now Drake is upset. He's in his feelings. But it was cool when they were doing this in 2018. Boosting up his numbers, pushing him. So the same system, like I said, he's complaining about is the same system that he benefited from. Let me see. Something else I wanted to pull up here. So I see a lot of publications saying, be clear, Drake isn't suing Kendrick. He's going after UMG and Spotify and iHeartRadio. He may not have Kendrick's name in there yet, but he's definitely trying to affect Kendrick. Because think about it. Kendrick just dropped the GNX album, or mixtape. He's also been nominated to perform at the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is one of the biggest stages in America, if not the world, right? That is a huge stage. And so and you know he's going to play Not Like Us. So to have a song like that be played at the Super Bowl 7 months after it's released, that's another slap in the face to Drake. Bottom line, people's pockets are being affected. People don't make drastic moves until their money is being affected. The reason why Drake is moving like this is because the money is not moneying. The money is not moneying for a lot of people, celebrities included, but especially Drake. Drake has probably not been given the sponsorships that he's used to. He hasn't been seeing the invitations to parties and things like that. And the bags that he was used to getting before this whole Kendrick Lamar saga has changed. Let's not forget, what was it? In 2022, he signed that crazy deal with UMG, with Lucian Grange, where they were going to pay him $400 million. Okay, one of the biggest deals. You don't get a deal like that without them helping to pump up your numbers and get real people to listen to your music and all that stuff, right? And I think now it's time for, renegotiations. And the record labels are like, you're not worth that. We're not paying you more. They may not even be willing to pay him the $400 million because they might have lost a lot of money on Drake. Because I don't know if they paid him all that money at once or if it was like in increments. I don't know. That's above my pay grade. But I feel like it's time to renegotiate. And his reputation right now is in tatters. Nobody's trying to do collaborations with him. Nobody's checking for him. He's at, music events, crying and playing, Destiny's Child music. He's throwing shade, at his little concerts. He doesn't really have any allies. He's not the Drake of 2016, 2015. And Kendrick Lamar really ruined his career, more or less. So the labels are like, we're not making money like that as the labels. So we're not about to pay you another $400 million. We're not doing it. So he's feeling away because there was even a song, and if y'all know the song, put it in here, where he was dissing Lucian Grange. I forgot the name of the song. How are you dissing your boss? The person who's cutting your checks. And that song came out a few months ago before this lawsuit. So that's what lets me know that there's some money issues brewing. People take drastic measures when their money's being affected. Who remembers the song where he was dissing Lucian Grange? I can't think of it, child. But if you think of it, write it in there. So I just think that, this has him stressed. And right now he's trying to recoup his losses. He's trying to, make his money back. And so if he has to sue, that's what he's going to do. He doesn't care. The lawyer's kind of explaining some stuff. Let's listen to what Mo has to say.
and legal drama, and this is the best one I've ever seen when you understand it. So first, this isn't a lawsuit. It's a petition where Drake is asking the court to require Universal Music Group to give him evidence that he needs to bring a RICO lawsuit and a lawsuit alleging illegal business practices. What he says is, I don't know who the other people were involved with Universal, but under the law, Universal has to tell me who they are so I can sue them for the following: civil RICO, deceptive business practices. What these people did is they used illegal bots to make it seem like Not Like Us was a lot more popular than it actually was. They cite to...
Okay, so then ask yourself, as Mo is speaking, ask yourself, how does Drake know all this? Isn't what Drake's suing for the same thing that Russ was saying 9 months ago? So it sounds like the pot calling the kettle black. You can file this lawsuit because you know how it is, how they get down behind the scenes. So now you're trying to expose the industry now that it's convenient for you. Because when Russ was speaking, I didn't see Drake not one time have Russ's back. I didn't see Drake not one time say, you know what, Russ is right. Y'all need to go stream his music. Y'all need to support an independent artist. Drake said nothing because, see, it was cool when he was up here. And he was top dog. It was okay. But now that he's not, now you want to peel back the curtains? I think not. Keep the same energy.
In Academics' interview, where Academics is on stream talking to some dude, and the dude says, I got paid $5,000 and promised a percent of Not Like Us in exchange for delivering 30 million fake bot streams when not... I've been around a lot of when Not Like Us first launched so that it would seem more popular than it was and the algorithms would bump it up everywhere. What's really interesting about Drake's claim is that if you watch the Academics interview, Academics questions the veracity, the truth of this guy saying, hey bro, are you sure? Like, somebody promised you points for bot streams? There's producers and engineers and people who feature on songs who don't get a percent of the song. And somebody promised you. Academics questioned this guy's story. Anyway, Drake's...
So now ask yourself, remember the first guy that was calling out Academics like, you know, Drake just be using you. He's not even flying you on no private jet. You're Drake's mouthpiece. So how do we know that that guy that was on Academic Stream that was saying that, how do we know that he wasn't brought there by Drake to say that, to plant these seeds? Very calculated. These seeds were being planted months ago, and now Drake is following up with a lawsuit. He's a very petty man.
Lawyers saw it fit for a filing in a New York state court, and they say, look, this is some evidence of the bots. Then they say that Universal typically takes a cut in order for somebody like Spotify to put a Universal song on Spotify, and that in this case, Universal wanted Not Like Us to be more popular, and so they agreed to take a lower cut, and they gave it to Spotify on the low, cheaper. They paid radio when Not Like Us first launched so that it replays that, hey, Universal Music Group, in order to make Not Like Us artificially popular, paid people in radio. Apparently, they claim that all of this is illegal and that it caused damage to Drake by reducing his popularity, getting him less streams. They argue that streaming is a zero-sum game. Every time Not Like Us got streamed, it resulted in Drake not getting a stream because you necessarily can't get a stream if everybody's listening to something else.
Oh, welcome to what everybody's been going through for the past 15 years. Like, do y'all understand how hypocritical this petition is? So it's cool when Spotify has you posted everywhere in 2018 to help promote Scorpion. So when everybody was being told, oh, if you want, you know, listen to your morning coffee, here goes some Drake songs. How do you think everybody else was feeling in the game? How do you think Future was feeling, and Kanye? Remember, Kanye said Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucian Grange. Everybody else was suffering. So it's, I mean, like, the delusion of this man. So when you were being streamed and everybody else's was being, you know, their streams weren't matching yours, and, you know, they weren't getting the same push that you were getting, that was okay. But once Kendrick is getting that push and Kendrick is being streamed by real people and alleged bots, now it's an issue. See, it's no fun when the rabbit got the gun, huh?
On that day. And they have all these other wild allegations in there, including this idea that Universal is firing people who have loyalty to Drake and preferring people who have loyalty to Kendrick. They also claim that Universal told Drake that, hey, none of this is our problem. Your problems are with Mr. Lamar. You should sue. Kendrick Lamar's last name, by the way, is Duckworth. For plays that they say your problems are with Mr. Duckworth. You should sue Mr. Duckworth. And if you sue Mr. Duckworth, maybe we'll jump in there with you. Because what do I think is happening here? First off, my mind is spinning because I can't imagine that you're relying on a source that academics questioned and that. But here's what I think is happening. I think you might have a situation where Drake realizes that Not Like Us and everything around that song and this battle has forever tarnished his earning ability and his ability to make that money. This is what I think is so significantly reduced that he's got to do everything he possibly can to get it back, even if that means filing these claims where you're out here. I would never file a claim like this if I were him, unless I guess there was that much money on the line, because from a PR perspective, my gosh, what do we think, people?
It boils down to money, people. That's exactly what it boils down to, is money. Okay? It boils down to money. He's upset. The money's not moneying. They're not trying to renew anything or negotiate anything with him. You know, he's just not worth what he was worth a few years ago, and he's upset about that. And he's blaming Kendrick for that. And the reason why UMG, they're so shady, because these music companies, they're not victims in this, right? So I'm not saying this to stand for UMG. They're definitely not victims in this. You know, these are the same companies that have death clauses. So when a rapper dies, they run to release unreleased songs. I mean, how many albums is Juice WRLD gonna drop, okay? And they make money off of said rapper. But my issue is, he was even saying that, UMG was saying, well, why don't you just sue Kendrick? Why are you coming after us? If anything, we'll back you up in the lawsuit with Kendrick. Why? The reason why they're willing to do that, because they win either way. Kendrick is with UMG through distribution, and Drake is with UMG. Either way, UMG gets a bag. So it doesn't matter to them. You know, so this whole situation, it's a mess. I think Drake has ruined what was left of his career in hip hop. But like I said, he's about to, he gonna go country or something. He gonna pick a whole nother genre. He's already dropping Easter eggs when what he said about hip hop. And that's my issue, is that we wouldn't be in this space if hip hop gatekept a little bit more. They should have gatekept like the country music people gatekeep. And I think they're probably going to do that more now with this whole Drake debacle. I don't think that we will never have another Canadian musician come in and be the face of hip hop. Drake has literally burnt that for everybody. So the whole situation is
You want the latest news in the streets? Join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovelyti TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.